I'm beginning this hour with a little bit of a treat. I have another offering from percussionist Sean Kennedy and trumpet player Chris Coletti. Now, many of you here in Huntsville know Chris. He's the principal trumpet player of our Huntsville Symphony, former member of the Canadian Brass, and a faculty member of Ithaca College in New York. And some of you might have been listening a few months ago when I featured Chris and his friend Sean Kennedy, who's a percussionist from Philadelphia. For those of you who didn't get to meet Sean then, he realized he had a lot of time on his hands when the pandemic shut everything down. He decided to return to his roots, so to speak, his percussion roots. He took time to delve back into those rudimentary drills that all percussionists learn as they're starting out, and that many musicians have to leave behind when their busy lives of performing and teaching get in the way. So Sean found another standard snare drum composition, arranged it for piccolo trumpets and a bevy of drummers, and got them all to record individually, then stitched all the parts together to make what you'll hear. The piece, and it's short, it's only about a minute long, is called Three Camps. It's one of the oldest and most famously known of all snare drum compositions. It was played as a reveille, a wake-up call, in all branches of the U.S. military from 1779 until 1875, when a bugle call replaced it. During the 20th century, it received wide U.S. distribution as an educational resource. It's valued as an exercise to improve technique and stamina, and it's played as a performance etude by drummers everywhere. So here is Chris Coletti on piccolo trumpets. He's playing twice on this recording. Sean Kennedy is on snare drum, along with a lot of other snare drummers. I'll talk about them afterwards. Let's listen to Three Camps. Three Camps, originally written for fife and drum, arranged here for piccolo trumpets and snare drums by Sean Kennedy with help from trumpeter Chris Coletti. So you ask, why is this called Three Camps? Well, legend has it that the name is derived from dividing each company of military troops into multiple camps for reasons of security. According to one source, 3 separate camps were each assigned one drummer. The drummer in each camp would play a passage and wait for the neighboring camp's drummer to repeat it or embellish it as a sign that all was well. Okay, so that's a good story, but like so many stories, the source of the information is unknown, and its accuracy has never been verified. No evidence of this practice exists in traditional editions of British or American military camp duty. Three Camps has long been known as a reveille call and not as a signal between camps. Its title remains as mysterious as its origin. But let me credit the drummers you heard. Sean Kennedy, the arranger, David Liu, Sherry Miracle, Dave Nelson, Chihiro Shibayama, and a name familiar to many of our listeners, Dame Evelyn Glennie. We have several of her CDs here at the station. She's the first full-time percussion soloist and has won quite a few awards for her recordings and performances. She's also notable in the fact that she lost her hearing when she was about 12 years old, and she often performs barefoot in order to feel the music beneath her feet. So, while we have all the percussionists assembled, shall we say. Let's listen to another of their recordings. This one is for percussion only, and they've added a few more drummers to their ranks to make a total of 12. That's right, 12 drummers drumming. You heard it here. This is called Connecticut Halftime, and along with all the snare drums, you'll hear bass drum and cymbals. Now, this is only a couple of minutes long, so if you feel melody deprived, remember that drummers everywhere have to listen to lots of music without a steady beat. So here we go with Connecticut Halftime. Connecticut Halftime, arranged by Sean Kennedy, and our pick for the award for 12 drummers drumming. In addition to the percussionists I listed beforehand, we also have John Wooten, Gabrielle Stasnik, Heather High Kennedy, Neil Grover, Bernie Dressel, Chris Culinary, and Clayton Cameron. Thanks so much to Sean Kennedy for sending this in for us to listen to. Evidence that, pandemic or no, musicians keep playing, they keep practicing, they keep bringing us music of all types. And thank heavens for that, right? You're listening to Morning Blend on 89.3, Huntsville Public Radio, listener-supported public radio for the Tennessee Valley.